What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over a collection of news stories that didn't necessarily go under the radar today, but just wanted to put them all together in one video, go through it. They'll hopefully be timestamps, so you can jump to like your favorite topic, or if you don't care about something, right, you can jump around. But I want to start with the epic Mickey remake. This caught me off guard. You know, the Nintendo Direct went pretty hard today. This is a game that, I mean, when you look back at it, yeah, it actually is getting a little bit old, and the trailer for it, I mean, number one, just beautiful. So freaking beautiful. I love the idea of it. My memories with the original is I rented it. I remember renting the original Epic Mickey. I liked it. I wouldn't say like I loved it, but I didn't hate it. And I never played the second one. The second one I think is more like infamous, right? Because definitely, at least if you go off of online, very much a disappointment, right? It seems like that one was either more split or just more negative altogether. But I'd say a pretty solid franchise, and one that I'm totally cool with getting a remake. And when you see the trailer, and again, looks phenomenal, and it kind of gets you into it, right away. But then, I was trying to read a little bit about it. It's actually from the people that did the last two SpongeBobs that made Battle for Bikini Bottom, the remake of that, Rehydrated, and then the ones who made Cosmic Shake. This was the next game they worked on. So that kind of completely came out of left field, where I thought they would just like keep making SpongeBob games, or maybe they would go to a different, property, like we get like a Fairly Odd Parents remake or whatever. But they actually went on and they're doing this. So it comes out this year. There's no date or anything, but I believe it comes out like across all platforms, right? It was originally shown at the Direct, but it's coming to PS5 and PS4. It comes out on Xbox. I don't know if it comes out on PC, but from even the pictures that they were showing off, like, looks really good. Again, I don't think it was like an elite game, but just it's a game franchise that I have thought about like from time to time, but generally I guess I've forgotten about it. And to bring it back and for it to look as good as it really does, it does look extremely excellent, even in the screenshots, right? The trailer, CG and doesn't necessarily reflect the game, but the screenshots I think show it off a little bit better, right? So just wanted to shout that one out because that kind of caught me by surprise. Okay, so next up is the confirmation and really just the, I guess, massive amount of updates / intel / whatever on the Xbox games, right? So we got the whole list. Pentiment coming out on PS4, PS5, and Switch on February 22nd. Hi-Fi Rush, which I believe just comes out on PS5, March 19th. Grounded, which comes out on PS4, PS5, and the Switch on April 16th. And then also Sea of Thieves, which comes just to PS5 on April 30th. So, I mean, look, we knew the games, right? Those were long rumored, long leaked, but now we get them absolutely confirmed, right, from Xbox. And we also get the dates, and we also get the consoles, right? So PlayStation, I think, kind of wins out a little bit more, right, than the Switch. Hi-Fi Rush isn't coming to the Switch. That's not, like, massively, and I guess Sea of Thieves. Those are games that, I don't know, like, Hi-Fi Rush does feel like a Switch game, and I know that's like a saying, but the one issue is the frame rate. And I mean, maybe this is why this didn't happen, right? Because Hi-Fi Rush is so dependent on the beat and matching the beat and just everything that's going on. And I just truly don't know if the base Switch can handle, what's going on with Hi-Fi Rush. And I guess you can absolutely say the same thing about Sea of Thieves, right? I highly doubt it could handle that one. So maybe it'll come to these things later on, but there's your list. And I mean, really, people joked about it. I'm not here for like console war, garbage. This is absolutely not about it. But, like Xbox is kind of filling in. Well, they're filling in, number one, like a PlayStation down year from their first party studios, right? So there's been that kind of narrative. But also just like the next few months is actually a lot of I mean, yes, PlayStation has like Stellar Blade and stuff, but you're getting Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, Sea of Thieves, bam, right? Kind of back to back. So super cool. More places to play it. Hi-Fi Rush, it was, I think, my second favorite game of last year. Freaking phenomenal game, right? So honestly, the more places to play any of these games, the better. Specifically, again, I'll shout out Hi-Fi Rush. I think people are really going to enjoy them. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the Spider-Man 2 update. So this is the New Game Plus update, right, that comes out March 7th. They announced a few things. Now, a lot of it, I don't know if they had, like, already confirmed it or it was speculated or whatever, but, like, the day-night thing, that's going to happen. They say you actually have to beat the base game, right? You beat the base game, and then you'll be able to do day or night on any of the missions. They talk about there's updates to photo mode. There's more accessibility options, which actually sound pretty darn solid. And then they talk about the suits. So I got to say a couple of things about it, right? So number one, they tie it to a charity, and that's totally cool. In fact, honestly, the way they're doing it, I really am fine with, right? So basically, there's a pack that's $5, right? $5. It's the Fly in Fresh suit pack, and it includes a suit for Peter, suit for Miles, 10 photo mode stickers, and 2 photo mode frames, okay? And again, it's $5, and all of that money, up to $1 million, so if they sell more and it goes past $1 million, I guess they pocket it, but up to $1 million, they're donating it to a charity that they've worked with, right? I don't have any problem with that. I have 2 things to say, though. Number one, I really don't like the suits. I think the suits look borderline terrible. Now, that's just me. If you like this, that's totally fine. Honestly, Spider-Man 2 had a very 50-50 kind of like suit, kind of selections. I think 1 was awesome, and I've talked long, actually, many times about Marvel's Spider-Man, 2018. Their suits, that like got me into it. For the longest time, for any game really that would have kind of like these skins or suits, if you're talking about superhero games, right? I normally just use the base suit, but Marvel Spider-Man, because of the way they tied abilities to it and also just how they looked, because they really did look really good, I was more inclined to play it, right? So I've talked about that, before for really the last, I guess, 5 or so years. For this one, it was a lot more 50-50. I mean, I think they took out a lot of, like, the personality of it or the reasoning, I guess, to use it beyond just the look, right? It was really about the look in Spider-Man 2. So if you didn't like how it looked, then that's kind of it. You know what I mean? And it was more 50-50. Like, some suits were really, really good. Some were atrocious. These suits are not looking good to me. And even, like, the first picture in the PlayStation blog, Peter's suit, good. I don't love it. I know there's some people online that really like the way Peter's suit looks. It looks great to me, but Miles' suit, what in God's name is going on there either? So I don't know. I don't like that one. I don't like either of the ones, connected to the charity. And, they say a couple different things about it, right? They say that this is like a one and done thing, that it's only for about, I think, a month, roughly a month, and it will be free not directly after, at some point after, it'll be free, okay? So they say that, and they also say, like, hey, don't get the wrong idea, we're not doing paid suits, like, this is just for the charity. I guess the issue, and one thing I will just throw out there, they have lock suits behind, like when you pre-ordered and the deluxe editions, and like, I guess it's fine, it's very, I'd say, like, late 2000s, early 2010s to do stuff like that, but honestly, like, is it gonna make or break it for me, or, do I hate them for it? No, absolutely not. Ultimately, if you want to spend the money, you want to get suits, or you don't want to spend the money, you don't get suits, whatever, right? It's up to you, and that's totally cool, but I just don't know why they're, like, talking the way they are, right? Because they're like, hey, we can see how some people would, like, look at this, in a negative light, and what we're gonna say is, well, we normally don't do this stuff, but you have done this stuff. But that's kind of it. I'm still very excited for this New Game Plus. Again, the additions to photo mode, accessibility, and the day-night thing was definitely a requested feature quite a bit. So I'm happy they're bringing it in. I'm not a massive fan of doing it like this late in the game. Not as a rushing thing. I don't really take it out on Insomniac. I don't really think it's actually, I don't even think it's their fault. I really look at it as Spider-Man probably should have been delayed. And I've said this before. Spider-Man, from the talk about, like, the third act that Sony kind of wanted changed, or they changed it themselves, or, whatever ended up happening, there's loads of signs that this game could have benefited from, like, 6 more months, in the oven. And that's kind of, that's, I guess, what I'm taking it out on. Honestly, like, Insomniac's given the deadline, they are most definitely told, hey, the game's coming out here, let's do it, right? So I don't really take it out on them. I think New Game Plus should come out with games. I know that's absolutely not the way we're doing it all of a sudden, but I'm not a big fan of that. But it's good that they're doing it, at all. That's definitely a positive. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.